Had a long night last night. Got some studying in, and I gotta go to work tonight, so I can't really just go spend hours. I have to get as much sleep as possible because I gotta do overnight. um, so yeah, but I'm about to go and take a nap before I gotta pull the all nighter at work. But I was listening to Pastor Torre last night, trying to fall asleep. I literally went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Literally stopped studying like around 12. Got ready for bed and stuff like that. I was trying to fall asleep. And I guess my mind was still like coding world. So my mind was like still kind of like trying to wind back down. I was listening to Pastor Torre and he was talking about burpees, and I was just like, yo, it's so true. Like God strengthens you, and some people think that even though like when we fall, like we're not in the will of God, and sometimes God allows us to fall, but He's still holding us, and you need that fall. Because you need to learn something for the thing that's coming up. And it's so true because I see it in my own life. Like, there's so many falls that I've had, right? And there's so many falls where it's just like God told me to do this. And I had effects, right? Causes and effects. So it's just like I did the cause, like, tell your story. And some people took it well, and some people did not, right? And I got a lot of rocks thrown at me at some points, and it was okay, right? Because God knew that I'm gonna need you to tell you, right? To tell all of you, be as transparent as possible. And He knew that there's gonna be framing or a twisted audio that was gonna come out, and some I still don't know the full picture yet. I don't, but I had to deal with a lot of people thinking I was one way, and even though I didn't see it, and a lot of times, we go to God like, God, are you there? This is what happened. You told me what to do this, and this thing is like going wrong. And God is just like, I'm going to vindicate you. Trust me, right? Even though this is going to be a fall right now, trust me, I got you. God is just like a parent. It's kind of like, my son has like really bad allergies, right? Every spring. And he has to do eye drops. He has to have Claritin. And he hates the eye drops. The eye drops, they sting his eyes. Especially like, when you've already been rubbing them and they're already kind of a little bit raw and stuff like that. So it stings whenever you put the eye drops in. And I literally tried every single way, tried to give him these drops, and he was so scared because it was going to hurt. And I knew it was going to hurt. And it was just, I felt so bad because I know when it's like anticipated pain and you already know what that pain feels like already. So it's just like, it's 10 times worse, right? I don't want to do this. I already know it's going to hurt, right? There's a difference when there is uncertainty there and it's a chance of it may not hurting, right? You have more will to do it. But if you know it's going to hurt, you're like, nah, bro, I don't want to do this. Like, I already know what I'm getting into. So I decided after like coaching him in and, really trying to breathe life into him, believing that you can do this, I had to figure out a way. And I had to do like simultaneous different type of sensory stimulations, right? So I was playing music in his ear, right? His favorite song at the time that he wanted to listen to, and I had him laying on his back, so he was in like a very unique or he's just not used to position, right? So he's like trying to keep himself relaxed in this position, right? And then on top of that, I took my finger and I was tapping the beat on his forehead, right? So as the song was going, I was tapping the beat with my fingertips on his forehead, and he kept like focusing on like making the beat, right? And I was just like, okay, you tap your belly with the beat and we'll make a beat together while you listen to the song. And as he's doing this, I was like, keep your eye open, keep blinking, look to the left. And I was just like, okay, I'm going in now. And I'm sitting there with the song, he's singing the song, and I had to do it, right? And I was able to get the eye drop in. Because any other time he had his hand blocking his eye, he made sure to keep his eyes shut. He was like, no, so I was able to do it, and it wasn't as bad because he had so many things going on around him, right? So it was like I was able to get done, and this thing wasn't so bad because his brain was busy computing other things. Some doctors do this. Pediatricians are like godsend because they have these tricks for kids. That's just like, I think I'm going to use that. I think that all like a lot of mothers are magicians, because they know how to get their child to do something that they need to do. And it was just one of the tricks I learned on the way. And I'm still looking up any kind of tips and tricks. So if anybody got any tips and tricks for me to get my son to do certain things, please let me know, because it helps. But all right, passatory, doing things that like we may not want to do, but it's good for us, right? And even though like it hurts, it helps in the end, right? Because his eyes wasn't itchy like that anymore, and it soothed down all the way. And even though it was pain there, eventually that pain dissipated. It was gone, right? He was good for hours. So that's kind of like how we are in life with God, and walking His will. Because you can walk Pastor Torre said himself, like, you have your own way of doing things, right? And of course, nobody likes pain, so we're going to try to do the least likely, the least resistant path, right? So we're trying to go easy way. We're trying to go autopilot, if anything, right? And God disrupts that a lot. So he was like, it's like burpees, right? This is like, burpees are painful as hell. I'm sorry. I hate burpees. But I love the way it makes you look. Anyone that's in the gym, everyone hates going to the gym. I don't care. But you're obsessed with the results. That's exactly what it is. And the more that you're pushing yourself, the more that you're getting gains, right? So that's why it's like that motivator. It literally becomes eccentric. It's just like, yo, the gains that I'm about to get right now is insane. Like, I'm literally tearing my muscles apart. So it's just like you actually condition yourself to like the pain, right? You like the process. And I think that's just where discipline comes into play. Tori said it as well. Like, you learn discipline and doing the hard stuff. You eat your frog, and shout out to Alux, because I've been teaching my son to eat the frog as well as I have to eat my own frogs, right? And it was just like me and him were kind of doing this thing together. It's just like, if you eat your frog now, you don't have to worry about eating the frog for the rest of the day, It's just like you learn discipline. And me obeying God, it was just like I needed to hear that. I needed to hear eat the frog. Because I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it in an hour. And it's because of that uncertainty of, I don't know, this is very new to me. So, and I'm the type of person that I don't just pull the trigger on everything. Like, I literally want to analyze and figure out every angle before I even put pen to paper, right? It has to make sense in my head. I can't just write, oh, this fact sounds nice. It sounds like it may be in the area, so let me just write it down. Like, it has to make sense in order for me to, like, intertwine this in, right? This whole product, service that I'm developing is something, it's a very hefty thing. This is a whole lot bigger than just the first initial thing that I imagined, right? It was just like, this thing goes really deep. It goes really deep into the psyche. And it ultimately changes your mindset. Like, you eat your frog. Like, it literally conditions you to eat your frog in the most positive way, though. Technology, infusing technology with the growth of yourself, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically. It affects, this thing is, it will affect you in every quadrant, right? If you utilize it. And I'm really trying to infuse different sensory stimuluses to get that person to eat their frog, to realize who they are, right? To find out exactly who they are in this world, through I am, right? Through God. Like, we can easily just like slap religion onto it, but it's so much deeper than religion. It's literally finding out the core of you, right? It's finding out your identity, and becoming the person you're identified as, right? It's just like learning all of you. It's a deep, very, very deep process. I'm still developing it. The bones are there, but to really fine tune it, right? But I was thinking about something when it comes to doing these burpees in life, right? And the pain that you go through, because God never promised the road to be easy. As a matter of fact, this road is actually very jagged, and it's very painful process to walk through, but it is the most rewarding. And the stamina that you get, right? The muscle, the gains that you get. But one thing I was really thinking about, God wants weary bones, but very strong muscles. God, if you had strong bones, right? And strong muscles, you wouldn't need any assistance. Like, you're the Hulk at that point, right? You don't need anything. Like, I pick up whatever I want. I can walk wherever I want because I got it. If you have weary bones, you're tired. You're aching. But your muscles keep you growing, right? Doesn't mean that you don't have bones, like you don't have structure, right? Because without any bones, you can't even walk, right? You can't even stand up. But your bones are tired. Your bones are very, very, they're weak. But your muscles have been developed so much that you can lift when you need to. You can have the stamina where you need to, because you've been working that muscle over and over and over and over again. When you have very strong bones, pride gets in the way. And you feel like you don't need God anymore. Like, oh, I got this, right? God forbid you try to stand up and you fall. You're susceptible to breaking your bone. You're immobile at that point until you heal. And I had a couple of fractured bones trying to do it on my own. And God was, He patched up my bones, but my bones are not strong. They're not. Because I need God. I need God with everything. Even at times where I feel like, I got this. I need God. I don't got this. I don't got it. And as soon as I feel like I got it, that's when the test comes right afterwards. And it's just like, yeah, you don't got it. You don't got it, mama. You have to get into your head. You can have confidence, like you can have confidence that you can do all things, but you can do all things through Christ. Like, you need the wisdom, and you need that hedge around you, to navigate yourself through this life. So it's a weird analogy, but He wants you to have weary bones. He wants you to have weaker bones, but He wants your muscles to be strong. He wants your faith to be strong. Like, your muscles represent like your faith, your endurance, your willpower to stay in the game, those type of things. Like your character, those things need to be very strong, but your bones need to be wary. Who you are as yourself, right, needs to be weak. Your pride needs to be very weak. Being meekness, right? Like, I need you. Like, I can't stand up by myself. I need your strength to hold me up. I need to hold your hand through this. But I do have the endurance to walk this walk. Like, God is like, the ultimate creator of knowing how to structure the body, and how everything works. So I don't know, that was just like my equation of how I see the analogy, and how we walk with God in this. So I don't know, it's a strange analogy, but it makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to everybody else. I do sometimes become the Riddler when it comes to certain things. So I apologize. I hope I was clear. If not, I'll try and see if I can clarify some way. But yeah, I gotta get some sleep. It's about to be 11, and I gotta go pick up my son from school in a few hours, and do the mommy thing, and then get a couple more hours of sleep before I gotta go in, because it's inevitable. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your afternoon. Enjoy the rain. Rainy afternoons are actually very peaceful. I love nature. If I could sit by a window, a big window, floor to ceiling window, to go look out into nature while it rains, it's like a blessing.